welcome back, Firewood Addicts, to another episode of Charles Says Firewood. Today, I have a trick that I want to try, and I'll share it with you. Alright, so the trick is, I want to show it to you, but the concern is when you have like these small branch like wood, and you go to buck them, gonna be at 16, because these are all long, okay? These are long pieces here, not at 16, and I want them to be at 16 or closer to 16, right? The issue with like these smaller pieces is if you go to buck them, and I'm gonna show you an example. If you go to buck them, they're gonna the chainsaw will kick them up, right? Now you can, when they're on a pile like this, put your foot on this side and cut over here, but that's not the safest route, okay? So I have an idea. Just bear with me here. This is gonna be quick. I promise. I have an idea. Yeah. So stay tuned. So that was just a demo. If you didn't understand what happened, this is one of the pieces that were not at 16. This is my marker, and it was longer over here, more so than 16 inches. And I want it, again, I want it to be at 16 inches so things are uniform. So what I did is turned on the splitter, put the log in perpendicular to the wedge, and stuck the wedge into the log, holding it stable and up off the ground, then taking my measuring stick and the Purple Monster, and I cut the log in at 16. Now we're not talking about how dull the chain is other than the saw. That's a different story. I understand maybe it could be dull. The point is, bucking up off the ground that are not long. These are rounds, but they're not quite at the length that you want. Okay, now I think that this process would be a lot smoother and faster with two people. So if you had several, which I do, having a pile ready to go, like to my left right here, and putting them on the table perpendicular to the wedge in a little bit, and then measuring, bucking, and then now this one is good to go. Off the lever, take it out, throw it to the side, or then and there, splitting it, whatever you want to do. If you're going to leaving your chainsaw on or turning it off each time, and then doing it again. Or having two people, one person with the chainsaw, another person with the splitter, and it'd probably be faster just to stack it over the side. And then when you get all your rounds cut to size, then come back with the splitter and split. So it's an idea. You saw this over at the Okie Woodsman's channel, Joe, and he did the same thing. He put the log into the wedge and then did his test cuts. I think he was testing echoes at the time, but that was just a demonstration of to hold it in place because he had smaller rounds too, and maybe not logs, or he just wanted it to be up off the ground, right? So, and then I think another channel had done this as well, so you're not bucking on the ground or having to cut up like branch-like wood, and you know it's going to kick up at you, okay? So I'm not sure if this is worth anyone's time. Again, it's an idea, and I thought about it, and I'm like, hey, let's share it on the channel. Now, there are splitters out there that if you put a log perpendicular to the wedge, it has the power to split through that, and I saw that down in Eugene at the logging conference, and that was pretty cool. I don't think that this Champion has the power to do so, and I don't really want to test it. This is one of the fruit wood, and I don't think it would make it through, and I don't want it to bust apart, okay? So this is just, again, this is an idea. I'm not going to demonstrate a whole bunch. This is just going to be a quick episode of just doing this and testing it out. It seemed to work. Obviously, you want to have this part of the log at the wedge, so you have enough length on this side, because you have this little table here is metal. You don't want to, obviously, you don't want to hit your chainsaw on the metal part of the splitter, so it has to hang out as far this way as possible. Or if you had two people, one person on the lever, another person on the other side with chainsaw, if your table on this side is smaller, which I think in most cases on these type of splitters, the table on the opposite side is going to be bigger, so you can put the round or chunks of pieces on this side, leaving this piece here maybe smaller. So probably, I assume that if you ever did this, you would want the longer end on this end, so when you're cutting down into air and into nothing, and so to be sure that you're not going to cut into the metal of the splitter. So, quick episode, quick idea. Let me know your thoughts. Is this harebrained crazy? Is this something that would work in your wood yard? Is something that you want to see me do more of? Let me know. I thought about it. I wanted to get it up on the channel for you all to see. Is it a hack? Is it a tip? Is it a pro tip? Or is it nonsense? You let me know down in the comments. I appreciate you tuning in. Until next time, remember, life's too short to be a prick, so be kind to one another. Rock and roll. Stay safe, keep cutting. Cheers.